Hello and welcome to the BBC. I'm Roma, reporting from the most current news. In the Americas, the Battle of Trenton has finally come to an end with an upset for Britain. The General George Washington's army ambushed the Hessian army at Trenton in what is considered to be a rather insignificant battle. With long and disrupted days of fighting, the rebels have defeated the dominating British to secure victories in both Princeton and Trenton. Upon the first victory at Trenton, I got to catch up with one of the few surviving British Hessian soldiers. Hello, Mr. Kruger. Are you badly hurt? Will you be able to spare some time talking to me?
Yeah, I think I can talk. A bit lightheaded. Is this about that battle the other day, the one at Trenton?
Yes,
all I can remember from that is that I was sleeping, and then I woke up to cannon fire, and then there was yelling and screaming, and it was Christmas.
That's pretty accurate. Is there any word on the assessment of losses?
Losses? I would say that about 20 men died, including our commanding officer, Johann Rahl. Other than that, a lot of us were captured. A few of us, myself included, escaped.
Well, you must be quite lucky then. The loss of leadership introduces a big setback for the troops. How has been the morale of the surviving soldiers?
We've been trying to find support. It's hard to find support in New Jersey, consider all the enemies there. Otherwise, I guess we're pretty good.
So personally speaking, do you think that you'll be able to get back on the battlefield if and when needed?
Provided if they keep paying me. We are Hessians. We are mercenaries. We fight for money and occasionally if it gets into our direct benefit list.
So how do you think the loss will impact Britain?
It'll impact Britain? I'm pretty sure it won't, unless Trenton is some important place or something like that. I don't know. I don't know New Jersey that well.
Well, it has been a difficult situation for all, and I appreciate the time you have given to me. Do you have any closing thoughts that you would like for the rest of Britain to know?
Yes, actually. Despite what any colonist says, we were definitely not drunk that night. Slightly.
Thank you for your time, and please take a rest.
Thanks, Roma. Things are going absolutely great here. There's much celebration among the Americans with improved morale and unity. We strong-willed Americans were able to make great gains. The Continental Army had previously suffered several defeats in New York and had been forced to retreat. To end the year on a positive note, George Washington, Commander-in-Chief of the Continental Army, devised a plan to cross the Delaware River on a cold and stormy night. His plan was to surround the Hessians, but because the river was icy and the weather severe, the crossing proved quite dangerous, and he had to leave two of his groups behind, leaving him with only 2,400 men. The Hessians had lowered their guard, thinking that they were safe from us Americans. They had no patrol and no outposts. Washington's forces had caught them off guard, and after a short but fierce resistance, most of the Hessians surrendered. Almost 2/3 of the 1,500-man garrison were captured, with the remaining escaping. With me in our studio, I have our very own American, Oliver Barker from the Battle of Trenton. Following his interview, Charles Mulhood will be here to give us perspective of the Redcoat side on the Battle of Princeton. Mr. Barker, it's an honor. How did the troops feel after the victory at Trenton?
Well, after the victory at Trenton, before it at least, we doubted our commander, and the weather was horrible. But after the battle, we won, and we were all very surprised, but we were very happy and it boosted our morale greatly.
What difficulties, if any, did you face against the Hessians?
Honestly, we did not face many difficulties. All we fought were a bunch of sleeping, drunk people after Christmas, and we just snuck up on them and won.
So what do you think is next for our Continental Army?
Well, I think we're going to be going, from what I've been informed at least, we're going to Boundbrook and Short Hills, and then we're going to sweep up all the Redcoats there and kill them.
So how was the victory at Trenton important to the overall war?
I think, at least from most of us, the greatest effect was that it boosted our morale, and we got more people to sign up for our army so we could keep on continuing fighting the war.
All right, thank you for your time, Private Barker. We wish you all the best. Up next, we have Mulhood here to discuss the Redcoats side on the Battle of Princeton. Good evening, Lieutenant Colonel Mulhood. Let's dive right in. How are the British troops feeling after their loss at Princeton?
Completely fine. The battle at Princeton wasn't really something that we cared too much about. Having Princeton in British occupation isn't directly in our best interests.
Alright. Given that Britain has essentially lost New Jersey, does the Crown have any plans to send back reinforcements to retake it?
We do not need reinforcements. We have plenty of troops here. And as I mentioned before, Princeton, again, is in our best interest. And judging by the way this war is going, and this recent victory doesn't really change much, it's only a simple conflict, I'm pretty sure that we will be able to take New Jersey back with ease.
Alright, are the raised American spirits a damper on the British troops?
Not at all. See, the British soldiers are heavily trained in pure obedience to the British crown. And the American spirits can rise, sure, but the British will defeat the American, whatever they call themselves nowadays, patriots or something like that? I don't know.
Alright, thank you for your time, sir.
Good to see you, Mr. Washington. Quite a long journey, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. The journey took a couple of days, but I felt that we as Americans have prevailed to this day through the many victories that we have gone through.
So what do you think of the victory?
I feel like that the victory was due to our army and my skill as commanding, and it boosted our morale and got many more men to enlist into the army so we could win more and more battles.
Sorry to cut you off, but about whatever you're talking about, but we need to get back onto the interview. What do you think was a key factor when winning this battle?
I feel like a key factor into winning this battle was not just my commanding skill into being the amazing commander that I am, but our positioning and in engaging the British Army at the right times. Although this may have seemed like a coincidence, it was not at all.
So, do you have anything to say towards the British?
Yes, I do. As I have said before, it was a fine fox chase, my boys, but I've had you in my sights.
Well, that's quite an interesting comment. How do you think this will affect the remainder of the war?
Well, I don't know how this will affect the remainder of the war, but no matter how big or small the battle was, no matter who won, I feel like this will be documented in history forever.
Thank you, Mr. Washington, and have a safe trip back. Back to BBC News. As you can see, Trenton and Princeton were both losses for the British, but will not impact them greatly. Although there will be economic downfall in Britain, it is in good hope that the army will come back better and stronger than ever. That's all the time we've got today. This is Roma reporting for BBC News. See you tomorrow.